Last night, Alex Cobb returned to a major league mound for the first time in nearly 2 years, holding the powerful Blue Jay lineup in check as the Rays took Game 1 of this series. Tonight, rookie left-hander Blake Snell goes to the hill looking for a little revenge of his own against Toronto. The Rays continue to hold an advantage in the season series between these two clubs as we welcome you to Tropicana Field. The series between the Rays and the Toronto Blue Jays continues. The Rays have won 8 of the first 14 games played between these two clubs, including last night, hitting 3 home runs en route to an 8-3 victory. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to an evening of Rays baseball with Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats. Great to have you aboard. Well, these two teams, the offense, power-laden, both sides. And when you look at what they've done over the last 3 weeks, they are remarkably equal.
This is where it gets weird. You know, we often talk about the Toronto Blue Jay offense, how powerful they are, how they score tons of runs and leading the charge for this team. But the Rays, you talk about matching them run for run. Go back over the last 18 games, and this Rays offense to the tune of 5.7 runs a game, 30 home runs. They've been clutch. That's an area that this team has struggled in previously, but 306 average with runners in scoring position. 15 of the 18 games they've hit a home run in, and you've got a lot of different guys hot. That's what you have to do to put up numbers like that. When you think about Miller, Longoria, Dickerson, just to name a few. The Blue Jays, how similar are the numbers? 5.7, 2 more home runs, a 292 average with runners in scoring position. They've also homered in 15 of the 18 games and have a number of guys swinging the bats well. Michael Saunders, Russell Martin, you may not even think of those guys to go along with Josh Donaldson. So you have 2 hot offenses, lots of guys getting involved. Tonight should be fun.
You know what else is remarkably similar? Perhaps the 2 best center fielders in baseball, Kevin Kiermaier and that's Kevin Pillar. Couple of Kevins, the flying Kevins in center field. We'll have more in a moment.
in this series with more than just a first name in common. Kevin Kiermaier, Kevin Pillar. The Rays and the Jays game 2 set from Tropicana Field, and both of those center fielders can turn a game around on a dime using their legs, their gloves, and their guts. Pillar is first in the majors this year with 18 defensive runs saved. KK has 16, but in 39 fewer games. Actually, over the last 2 seasons, the 2 best at their position at saving runs for their respective teams. And when I asked each to describe the other's play, they both chose the same 2 words: all out.
He plays the game hard, and I respect that. I like guys who play the game the right way, and you know, talking about him, he was a 32nd rounder back in the day, and me being a 31st rounder. So always what comes to mind to him, or when I think of him, and you know, he plays a really good center field out there, and he plays hard, and you know, he can make some pretty spectacular plays.
He covers a lot of ground. He plays hard. He plays, you know, kind of like myself, a little bit reckless, borderline reckless. And you know, a lot of people, it's kind of the lost art of the game, you know, playing hard.
Hasn't happened yet, but you gotta believe one or both of those Kevins will turn in a highlight play in center field this series. Countdown to first pitch, just over 3 minutes. A great reason to tune in and of itself. These 2 center fielders playing today. Dwayne and BA have the call. Rays and Jays up next.
Right on the strip, and then look at me and I'll wave. That means wave to your
The young lefty, the rookie Blake Snell, heads to the hill for the Rays tonight, making his 15th start, and he will square off against this Toronto Blue Jay lineup. Take a look at the lineup presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Jose Bautista again leads it off, followed by Josh Donaldson. Edwin Encarnacion hits third. Russell Martin in the cleanup spot as the DH in front of Troy Tulowitzki, Melvin Upton Jr., Deanna Navarro, Kevin Pillar, and Devin Travis. All set to play ball. Blake Snell delivers the first pitch of this game And it's a fastball down, a ball, no strikes.
Well, you look at Blake Snell's numbers as he makes his 15th start of the season, and what jumps out at you, the walks. 40 walks in 68 in the third innings. That's an area where he would like to improve, and he himself has said, I need to be better in the strike zone, better in attack mode. That's what hurt him the first start against the Blue Jays, and we'll see if he makes the adjustment here tonight.
Yeah, and all of that translates into a high pitch count, a lot of pitches per inning, deep counts, and too often behind in the count.
All of which is bad, and really you get the pitches per inning, which is sky high for him, and it takes off. You know, as high as his is, it'll take off an inning and a half to 2 innings every start with how many pitches extra per inning that he throws. And we know that this stuff is there. It's just a matter of refining command, and that's what we'll hope to see here over the next month.
Bobby Wilson taking that foul ball right off his right shoulder. Brian O'Nora spending a little time personally delivering a new baseball out to Blake Snell, then cleaning off the plate just to give Wilson a little time to get some feeling back in the shoulder. There's a strike on the outside corner. Well, that'd be a nice pitch for him to pick up all night.
Well, downhill, you know, borderline to maybe on to just off. You better believe it.
Full count. Donaldson, Josh Donaldson on deck. By pop, that's going to be a foul ball out of play.
Consistently building. 92 now up to 94.
Shot to center field. Kiermaier will go back to the track and then back onto the turf. Makes the catch. That's the first out.
Let's take a look at the Rays defense, see how it's going to line up. Brought to you by Gold and Diamond Source. In the outfield, left to right, Corey Dickerson, Kevin Kiermaier, and Nick Franklin. Cross that infield, third to first, Evan Longoria, Matt Duffy, Logan Forsythe, and Brad Miller, with Bobby Wilson behind the plate.
Josh Donaldson. There's a breaking ball in there. Curveball on the first pitch, taken for a strike. One. It was a tough outing for Blake Snell in his last performance against Toronto, his first and only performance against them. And that was up in Rogers Center in Toronto. On hop up the middle. Forsythe playing right there in the shift. Sharply hit, 2 gone.
And I love that play by Logan. He got a good read on that line drive up the middle and then took a little half step backwards to get the hop that he wanted. Watch him right here. Read it. Okay, let me take a step back, get a little bit higher of a hop, then set my feet and throw. That's well done.
So 2 up, 2 down. Edwin Encarnacion stepping in. There's a strike in the upper part of the zone. Starts him with a fastball. Two out front.
That right there is why pitching ahead, being in the zone, is so important to Blake Snell. It allows him to take the slider in this case and the curveball and take it out of the zone. Can't do that when you're behind in the count as a pitcher. 2-0, that doesn't work. 0-1, 0-2, guess what? It works real well.
And he has a lot of choices if he can consistently get ahead.
Oh my.
Can you imagine what he could do then?
Well, let's hope that we see it soon. Let's hope we see it here tonight. It'll be fun.
See right here, getting ahead and alternating between the slider and the curveball. The count now 2-2. And he took a shot at that outside corner and doesn't get the call this time.
You know, and Brian O'Nora picked himself up from that pitch rather quickly, and I thought that was to call it. He jerks himself back there pretty good, and yeah, that one doesn't go his way.
And that one up and away. Fastball. So Encarnacion draws the walk. Snell a little frustrated out there, giving up that walk. So now the challenge refocus. 2 outs, a man at first. There's Russell Martin. There's a strike.
And Dwayne, here's the thing too. When we talked about the walks, that's now walk number 41 for Blake Snell. 17 of the 41 have come with 2 outs. Those are the killers. They add to the pitch count. You just end up putting a guy on base and it costs you 5, 6, 7 pitches with 2 outs in the inning. Almost half of the walks have come in that position.
There's one on the corner, 0-2.
And it extends innings too. You know, if there's a runner on base, now you've got a runner in scoring position.
Away. Yeah, and you could see Snell's reaction after the walk to Encarnacion. The pitch prior was close. A couple of balls led to that walk, but he's also aware of 2 outs and all the walks, frustrated with himself.
That's why you wonder how much does he think about it, because you really can't.
Strike 3 call. Martin looking at a fastball. No runs, a man left. We go to the bottom of the first. Out walk and then a strikeout to end it for Blake Snell. We go to the Rays half of the first. Logan Forsythe will lead it off. Starting lineup presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Kevin Kiermaier next, and then Evan Longoria, Miller, Duffy, and Morrison down the middle. Morrison the DH. Nick Franklin in right. Corey Dickerson in left. Bobby Wilson does the catching.
Now taking the mound tonight for the Toronto Blue Jays, right-hander Marco Estrada, making his 24th start of the season, and he picked up that 8th win his last time out. That was in Baltimore against the Orioles, of course. Went 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 4 strikeouts, and picking up that win.
So Logan Forsythe Leads it off against Estrada.
See, that
Takes a strike.
That would have been a lot better if he would have picked up that win in Baltimore against like the Rockies. You know, why I felt the need to go there, not really sure. Who else would it be?
Well, you just want to get right into the corner, make sure everything is clear. High popper into short right. Bautista's there to make the catch on that one. One away.
Let's take a look at that Blue Jay defense. Brought to you by Gold and Diamond Source. And in the outfield, left to right, we have Melvin Upton Jr., Kevin Pillar, and Jose Bautista. And across the infield, third to first, Josh Donaldson, Troy Tulowitzki, Devin Travis, and Edwin Encarnacion with Keanu Navarro back behind that plate.
A couple familiar figures in this lineup, and Navarro and Upton for the Blue Jays. And Kiermaier looks at a strike at the knees. Kevin hitting .227. Fouls it right back. A triple last night. Run scored and a run batted in. The Buick GMC big matchup. 14 games into this season series. Kevin Kiermaier, .353 against the Blue Jays. He'd love to play more than just 19 games against them. Donaldson in foul territory back at third. Handles the pop foul. 2 gone.
Well, Marco Estrada, you know, his numbers, you know, the average against him, just 200. Giving him 106 hits now in 145 innings, but not overpowering. You know, that fastball, upper 80s, maybe 90, top of the zone, hook, a very good Bugs Bunny type changeup. Great arm action with it. That ball just seemingly never gets to home plate. And he just works the ball around the zone, makes you uncomfortable without having to knock you down. There it is.
And Longoria out in front, strike one. Well, you take a look at this. How impressive is that?
Well, look at everybody on that list. All power guys, all overpowering. Verlander, big fastball. Kluber, Carrasco, Sale, and then Marco Estrada, 87, 88, 89.
Yeah, and starting Longoria with a couple of those in his first at bat, giving him a lot to think about. Ball, 2 strikes. The 2 hitters in the Rays lineup tonight with success against Estrada would be the 2 Logans, Forsythe and Morrison. Everybody else battling away against him. Upstairs, 2-2, and Morrison, who, as we know, can be a streaky hitter, showing signs of getting hot here in the last couple games. Oh, that's a strike on the outside corner, says Ryan Honora. On to the second, no score. Tomorrow, all kids 14 and under receive the superhero cake socks presented by Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital while supplies last. Rays and the Blue Jays go at it tomorrow afternoon. Call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com. Rays up. Troy Tulowitzki will open the second inning. He's up in the 5th spot in John Gibbons' lineup. He's after the first one and fouls it away. Tulowitzki with a 3-run home run with a couple of outs in the first inning of Snell's appearance against the Blue Jays back on the 10th of August in Toronto. One of his 22 home runs. Ground ball. Shortstop. Duffy handles this one. Dug out by Miller over at first. One away. You know, if you look back at that first BA and you look at the pitch count, he had Encarnacion, actually got ahead of him, wound up walking him on a couple close pitches. So if he gets him out, if he goes 3-2 and gets him, that's a 16 pitch inning. Turned out to be a 20 pitch inning. Upton skies it up the right side. That's a foul ball, just fouled and caught by Franklin. And so right there is the difference that Snell wants to implement. Just that walk to Encarnacion turned it from a 16 pitch inning into a 20 pitch inning. If he averages 16 pitches an inning for the rest of his career, there's no telling how effective he could be.
Well, it's going to add 1 to 2 innings to every start.
Yep.
Okay, do the math on that. You're talking about adding, let's say you get 30 starts. You're going to get more than that. Let's say you get 30 starts. 1 to 2 extra innings a start. That's an average of 45 extra innings a season. That's huge.
Yep.
That's a huge difference. Because if the way that pitch counts are done now, and right now he's over 19 pitches an inning on average. And the way that they do it now, you're looking at a series of 5-inning outings. He doesn't want that. The team doesn't want that. He just needs to continue to refine that command and become more efficient, which he will. I mean, he's young, learning at this level. He'll be fine. But the sooner he can do it, the sooner that he'll be able to get deep into every single game because of the quality of his stuff and the number of weapons that he has.
Well, here he is, 2 outs. It took him 3 pitches to get 2 outs. Now he's 0-2 on Deoner Navarro. And you're right, I don't think there's any question at all in the confidence that you could have in Snell's ability going forward to cut that from over 19 pitches an inning down to the 16 pitch per inning level. And when he does, look out. It's 2-2 now with Navarro.
You know, a lot of times, and it goes back with him, repeatable delivery. Sometimes you see, a pitch go haywire and you can immediately pick up, well, mechanically he's just a hair off. Did this, the arm, the release point wasn't the same, not the same, but the arm speed wasn't the same.
So foul ball straight back out of play.
But that's the beauty of watching a young pitcher gain traction and a foothold at the big league level and then see where he can go from that, because we've already seen that he has some pitchability. Yep. Got an idea what he's doing out there.
He does indeed. And now that is ball 3. Navarro trying to coax a premature walk out of Brian O'Nora. And a little trouble keeping track of the count there.
And you can see that reaction. Josh Donaldson, Deoner Navarro will wear that one.
Yep. Because what? You get a 3-ball walk. The rest of us have to have 4.
Yeah.
But you get to go to first after ball 3.
So everybody thinking up their lines that they're going to come up with.
That's a foul ball. Well, see, here's another situation though. 2 outs. You've got Deoner Navarro at the plate. All due respect, he's hitting .215.
And you get ahead of 2.
Yeah, and now it's 3-2 with foul ball. And another foul ball. So 3 pitches to get 2 outs. And now it's a 9-pitch at bat. This will be number 10 to Navarro. And pitch number 10 is fouled. Tulowitzki grounded out, Upton fouled out. So again, this is exactly what we were talking about with Blake Snell in the early part here of the evening tonight, and the starts he's made here in his rookie year. Navarro fouls it again. This one popped on the right side. Miller back of first, foul ball makes the catch. 1-2-3 inning, a lengthy at bat for Navarro. No score. Second inning. Brad connecting last night for the 26th time. That came in the 7th inning. And 20 of those have been at home for Brad Miller. Just under 77% of his home runs here at Tropicana Field. That's the highest percentage by numbers, two behind Mark Trumbo at home. And as we all know, Oriole Park at Camden Yards a bit more inviting for hitters than Tropicana Field. To strike to Brad Miller.
And we talked a little bit about Brad Miller in the pregame show, and the one stat that I came across today that I thought was just so intriguing was the first half before the All-Star break. There were 81 games Brad Miller played in. He had 32 runs driven in. He's driven in 36 runs after the All-Star break in 40 fewer games.
Well, bigger responsibility to drive in runs when you're playing one of the corners.
Right.
First and third, left field, right field. You know, they want some production out of that. And interesting how that's happened, because we started to see that home run power emerge at shortstop, but it makes all the sense in the world for him to be over at first base, and he's certainly hitting like a conventional first baseman would, with power out on strikes this time.
I'm just glad that the front office allowed him to get that record for home runs by a shortstop.
Yes, yes.
Before they moved him over to first base. Let him, you take that record home with you, and then we'll move you, and you can then start doing your thing over there.
Just hitting all those home runs at shortstop, you had to move him into a place where you wanted power. And so right there at first base.
Like chess pieces.
Yeah, exactly. Here's Matt Duffy. Fouled one away for a strike.
Well, you know what? It does make for an interesting infield. You know, Longoria, Forsythe, spoken for. This guy right here, Matt Duffy, you bring him over in a trade to be your shortstop. You move Brad Miller to first base. That has the potential to be a pretty top-notch infield.
And you know, it's not altogether a surprise. I think the numbers are going to be surprising in the sense that he never hit this many home runs before, Brad Miller. But you know, we talked about it early this year when the Rays made that deal with Seattle, and everyone immediately went to Logan Morrison as the guy to play first and hit home runs. But if you looked at their numbers, their on-base percentage, their slugging percentage, and the OPS, you looked at that from a year ago. Miller's was higher than Morrison. That's a strike call, and Duffy caught looking. 3 consecutive strikeouts. The first 2 here, Miller swinging and Duffy looking. And Estrada 2 outs and nobody on into the bottom of the second inning.
You know, and then you look even deeper, and of course, Brad Miller, the only guy in Major League Baseball that has that exemption to be able to use aluminum bats. So when you add that into it, you can understand the uptick in the power.
And it's amazing the sound he gets using an aluminum.
It's a crack. It is. It just goes to how hard he hits the baseball. That's something that we noticed early on, and he just continues to hit the ball extremely hard. Those maple bats.
Yeah, that's the first thing that I think over a period of time that we noticed, the sound of the ball off his bat, and then the distance that he can get. It's pretty amazing.
Very angry at the baseball.
As hitters should be. 1-1 the count here to Logan Morrison. Well, Morrison hit a long home run here last night. And when he heats up, there's a fly ball into right, will carry to Bautista. And Morrison is the third out. 3 up, 3 down. No score through 2. Rays wives host their annual Dog Day Drive and Charity Auction benefiting Pet Pal Animal Shelter tomorrow. Visit outside gates 1 and 6. There, donate dog-friendly items. The charity auction includes autographed memorabilia from Rays players and all-stars from around the leagues. For more info, visit RaysBaseball.com/petDrive. Kevin Pillar takes a breaking ball for a strike. Pillar, Travis, and Bautista coming up in the third. A little tap. Snell with the pickup and toss to first, and they keep Pillar off the bases.
Nifty little play there by Blake Snell, vacating that mound. Sometimes you see these guys, these taller pitchers, 6'4", 6'5", have some trouble with the bounce off of the mound. Now watch him come right off here. Confidence to make the little quick backhand right here and turn and flip. That was well done. Doesn't look like much, but trust me, see some other guys do it or not do it.
Evan Travis takes the ball. Travis 0 for 4 last night, reached on a fielder's choice. 1-1 out in front. And boy, that changeup of his, he actually throws that changeup like a veteran. That is going to be out of the reach of Forsythe. Little base hit into center. Hit it just hard enough to get it over Forsythe and drop it in front of Kiermaier.
Yeah, you don't have a lot of room to work with there. Watch Forsythe. This is a fastball following up the change, and it gets in on him. That takes all the power out of this swing. The ball's a little floater. Logan, Kiermaier pinching, and you've got a few feet to work with there, and Travis found it.
Well, back to the top side of the order. Here's Jose Bautista. Oh, on the count, Bautista. Fly ball to center. Caught by Kiermaier after working the count to 3-2 to open the game. But down. 1-1. Snell gave up a 2-out walk in the first, had a 1-2-3 second, and the bloop base hit with 1 out in the third. Two balls and a strike. Wide. 3-1. Bautista laying off the off-speed pitch. Good cut and a foul ball. Up to 3-2.
Blake Snell, 4-seamer. Boy, that's dangerous territory right there. And Bobby Wilson takes another shot.
Popped up, shallow right, Forsythe out. He's there to make the call, and the catch, 2 gone.
You know, that's when you know you have an explosive fastball, that you can go to a 3-1 count against Bautista and come with 2 straight 4-seamers middle of the plate and get bad contact. Look at him just drive this pitch. Gets in just a hair and pops it straight up. That was 2 back-to-back that caught an awful lot of plate, and Bautista couldn't do anything.
Now it's Josh Donaldson. 2 outs with a runner at first. Crossover there. Upstairs. Interesting to, we talked in the open about the offensive output the last 3 weeks or so of these two teams, and interesting to look at them on a seasonal basis. The big difference is the Blue Jay ability to get on base more than the Rays. You look at the power numbers, you look at the stolen base numbers, all of those are pretty similar. Slugging, pretty similar. On base, something else. The Rays 14th in the league in on base percentage, and the Blue Jays are 3rd, and that's a big difference.
It is, and it's a lot of walks. When you think about the Toronto Blue Jays and right at the top of Major League Baseball in walks taken, a lot of power. Guys like Donaldson, Bautista, Encarnacion, a lot of pitchers pitch them very carefully. Leads to walks, extra base runners.
Yeah, they have over 100 more walks than the Rays hitters do.
I mean, think about another 100 base runners.
Yep. And that's the difference. I mean, they have almost 100 more runs scored. That's the difference it makes. High fly ball down the left side, and that ball is going to be out of play. Well, we have seen already Donaldson hit some towering shots here. That was another one that approaches the catwalks, the various rings here. He did it again last night. Second time he has hit the rings here this year. One went for a home run last night and went for a double. Right back. Big rip at that mid-90s fastball. It's power against power there. Missed. Well, most of Snell's misses have been very close. Now 3-2, the count to Donaldson. Foul. Snell quickly off the mound just in case he was going to have a play, but that would bounce plenty foul. Four is wide. Fastball outside. Put two men on and get Edwin Encarnacion up there.
Another walk with 2 outs. This is the scenario that we talked about. So you have another 2-out walk with a runner on base, pushes him into scoring position, creates an opportunity, an unforced opportunity for the opposition.
Well, 2 outs and a base runner into the inning, 11 pitches in. And now with that walk and Encarnacion about to step in, first pitch to him will be the 20th pitch of the inning again. 20 in the first, 15 in the second, and now here comes number 20 in the third. And it's ball one. It's really that part of his game that prevents him making only his 15th big league start, preventing him from being truly exceptional out there. 1-1.
Well, the one thing that you could say is you've got a tall, lanky, left-handed starter with 4 very good pitches. Command not quite there yet. Only his 15th career start. You know, but you'd like to see a strong finish, you know, here in September of refining some of that command. I know he's working on it diligently in between starts, and with the Rays going to a 6-man, he's going to be able to work on it a little bit more, at least in theory. And that'll be the big key for him. That'll be exciting to see next spring training, where he's at with that, because then you can make the big jump.
Wave and a miss. 2-2. Yeah, you don't know what's going to happen in the offseason, but right now, if you took this group to spring training and you had the arms as they lined up, Cobb was impressive last night. Odorizzi's been impressive. You'd have Snell in the mix, Archer in the mix, Smiley into center field. Here comes Kiermaier. That's a base hit. Kiermaier tried to get a handle on it, thinking about unloading on Travis, and could not find a handle and hangs on. So Encarnacion drops the RBI single in front of Kiermaier.
Well, you go back to the 2-out walk that created the opportunity, and we'll let that go there. Then you got an elevated fastball that he's just able to label into center. And watch Kiermaier here. This is the competitive side of Kevin Kiermaier. And he still wants to throw it. He thinks better of it. Didn't have a play there. I mean, he was that close to uncorking that thing. I shouldn't say competitive side. I don't think he has a competitive side. I think it's all competitive.
Yeah, that's how he plays. Also Martin taking a pitch down. And you know, he has the presence of mind to know what he said the other day when he tried to stretch that hit in Boston into a double was thrown out. He said, I've got to make better decisions. And he owned that, which was refreshing to see.
That's how you get better.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how you get better. Forget baseball. That's how you get better in life.
Yep.
If you just say, I need to do some things better, you know?
Absolutely.
And that's how you improve. And obviously Kevin Kiermaier is striving to be the best player that he can be, both offensively and defensively. You pick up on those things and you say, you know what, I got to be a little bit more cognizant, a little more tuned into the situation next time.
Out in front, Martin. Change up, and the count is 1-2. Yeah, and especially, you know, with baseball or anything, you're right out there in the middle of all this. You're not fooling anybody but yourself if you're not admitting that.
Well, that is true. Magnifying glass.
Started to go and did not offer completely on the curveball. It's 2-2 to Martin. Runners at first and second. A run in, 2 outs. And a cut and a miss. Martin missed the off-speed pitch. 1 run for Toronto, 1-0. Marco Estrada in June of last year against the Rays, picture perfect for 7 1/3. En route to a 13-win season last year. And that broke it up. Logan Forsythe. Franklin swings and sends one deep to right. Bautista all the way to the track, and a step from the wall makes the catch. Franklin picked one out, a fastball, and almost had enough to get it out of here.
Well, it looked good off the bat, say that. That four-seamer Nick Franklin staying right through that baseball, just not catching it clean enough.
You know, Franklin has changed.
Yes, he has.
His whole approach to hitting is different, and that's he put a nice swing on that one. Remember when he first came up, he was falling away, pulling off everything. He's a different hitter and a much better hitter, and almost got the Rays on the board there. In fact, when you look at the Rays roster of hitters and you look at the left-handed hitters, he's a switch hitter, but you look at the left-handed hitters, who would you imagine might have the highest slugging percentage?
Pick me.
Yes, BA.
Brad Miller.
See,
hands
you
down,
would think
26
Brad Miller.
bombs. Well, he does.
And in fact, he doesn't. Nick Franklin, who had 90 at bats as a left-handed hitter, has the highest slugging percentage of any hitter in this lineup.
I was going with at least 100 at bats.
I got you.
But you know what? I'll tell you what. He may, the numbers that you gave, he maybe could go.
Yeah,
for 10.
his slugging percentage coming in was .556, and Miller's was .511 with the power display that he's put on. I mean, that's why you just look at the numbers, you go, well, there's something different here about Nick Franklin. And we've talked about how we think he's more confident. He feels he's, you know, big league talent, wants to be here, should be here. I think he believes all of that, but his approach is different too. And he's driving the ball better.
Well, you think about that fade where he was kind of almost falling out of the batter's box as he was swinging. And think about that head. You know, the head moving while you're swinging, where now the head is staying still, and then the hands. Let the hands do the work.
Yeah, he's been impressive. Ball 4, Dickerson draws the walk. Rays get their first base runner, 7 in a row, retired by Estrada. Bobby Wilson now. Bobby hitting .247. Strike the count. Blue Jays got a run in the top of the third. They've taken a 1-0 lead. Just barely catches the corner. Not a lot of it. And Bobby's wondering if somehow his pitcher can get that call. As catchers go, they're very aware of that.
Well, you go back and look at that pitch. Look at the way that Giancarlo Navarro was able to frame that pitch. You know, the key to that pitch, and you'll see the good ones, and Bobby Wilson can do it too, is they keep their hand on the corner, catch that ball out in the webbing. And all of a sudden, that pitch that's an inch or two off the plate The glove looks like it's still on the corner, and there goes the call. Try to keep that hand right on the, see that? And then just catch it in the webbing. Now that pitch may be off the plate, but boy, it sure looks like the majority of that glove is on the corner.
Yeah, it looks like a great pitch.
Yeah. That's how you steal some of those borderline pitches, or at least present them well.
It's a strike to Logan Forsythe. Yeah, presenting sounds so much better than stealing.
Yeah, I'd probably get in trouble for saying
yeah,
the stealing
I'm
part.
presenting. I'm not stealing. I'm presenting.
Yes. Look at this shiny little coin over here.
Yeah, there it is. Oh, and that's a strike.
I love the change of voice.
1-1. Won't scare anyone. Be persuasive, non-threatening. And all the time deceptive. That's what those good catchers do. One ball, 2 strikes. Dickerson, the runner at first, 2 gone. Runner goes. The pitch is low. The throw is in time. Dickerson caught stealing for the 2nd time this year. And the Rays are finished in the 3rd. Navarro throws out Corey Dickerson. Here's the play. Hey, how about that? That's an interesting call out there. 1-0 at the end of 1, or at the end of 3, Toronto. One nothing ball game. Blue Jays lead. They come into bat in the 4th inning with Troy Tulowitzki leading off. First pitch from Blake Snell is wide, 1-0. Tulowitzki, Upton Jr. and Navarro due up. 1-1. Caught stealing of Dickerson, looked to be very close from the angle we initially saw. Looked at it during the break from another angle, and he was out at second. The first angle appeared that the tag was made on the back leg, but in fact he got him on the front leg. It's a popper to the right side, and Miller is there. Tulowitzki's out of there. Here's another look at that play at second on the attempted steal.
There, pretty clear. But you're right. Then you see it hit that back leg, and from that other angle, yeah, it was kind of like
Well, you know, we talk about depth.
Yes.
You know, that depth that you don't really get. That's why interesting as much as HD and all of the other great technical developments. You know, it sometimes appears that you're getting that third dimension, but we're still looking at a square, flat surface there. And so if you get a couple different angles, then maybe you can put those together and figure it out. And we're told that's one of the things that the crew in New York attempts to do when they review plays.
We're going to go on a tour next time we go up there.
Yeah,
let's go check it out.
That would be fun. I think they'll let us in now.
You think so?
Well, we'll see. Yeah.
I'm packing a disguise. I'm going to pack hair.
This one is popped up, foul ball, and Bobby Wilson couldn't find it. It's going to be out of play. Look out. Suddenly that ball.
It becomes a missile is what it does.
Yes. And just because the catcher can't find it, don't give up on it. If you're in the stands behind home plate, you better look at it more diligently than he is. And all of a sudden, a couple of rows behind one spectator, he was surprised to see it drop there. Upton strikes out.
Okay,
for two.
This is the 2-strike watch.
Yeah.
How quickly can we end this thing?
Well, here are the examples. First inning, as we mentioned, 10 pitches in, he had 2 outs. He wound up making 20 pitches in that inning. In the third, he had 2 outs with 11 pitches in. He wound up making 29 pitches in that inning. Now 2 outs, 8 pitches in here in the fourth.
Well, and the first inning, you remember, 10 pitches after the 2 outs, and then an 0-2 count. And you end up losing.
Well, there's a pitch breakout. Even in the second inning, he had 2 outs with 3 pitches.
Yeah, and that was the one.
And it wound up becoming a 15 pitch inning there.
Yep.
12 pitches for Navarro. Well, here's Navarro again. 2 outs and 2 strikes to count on him. So where do we go from here? Breaking ball down and in. Foul ball. So you can see how frustrating this could be to a young pitcher out there, aware of how close he comes to putting a team away, getting 2 quick outs. And certainly for a pitching coach and a manager. It's driven a long way, but well foul. 1-2 on Navarro. Navarro gets behind in the count, and boy, does he guard that plate with the best of them. A little tapper foul.
Well, think about what he's fouled off in this at bat. You know,
it's a 1-2 count. He's doing it again, Navarro. Time called here. Pop up and a strikeout, the 1-2. And a cut and a miss. Navarro on a foul tip is out on strikes. Bottom of the fourth coming, 1-0 Toronto. baseball on Fox Sports Sun, brought to you by Ram Trucks, Guts, Glory Ram, by St. Luke's Cataract and Laser Institute, by FDOT, drive sober or get pulled over, and by Toyota. Let's go places. Logan Forsythe will open the home half of the fourth. He was at the plate when Dickerson was caught trying to steal. Pitch. Breaking ball taken for a strike. Ball, one strike. There is a base hit line past the diving Donaldson. The Rays have their first hit. Forsythe, who broke up the no-hit bid last year with Estrada on the hill, picks up hit number 1 to open the fourth inning tonight.
He waits back just long enough. That ball right off the end of the bat. A good job of following it down. And then gets it just outside of the glove in the dive to Josh Donaldson. Good start here for the Rays. Leadoff man aboard the fourth.
Kevin Kiermaier. Ball, no strikes. And the bunt popped up. Navarro makes the catch on that one.
That was a quasi attempt there by Kiermaier. Kind of a late square round, almost like bunting for a hit. Right here, yeah, late with it. Right there, you're kind of bunting for a hit, and if it doesn't work out, oh well, you've at least moved the runner into scoring position. But the late square round combined with the ball up in the zone, easy play for Navarro.
Goria pops it up on the first pitch. Encarnacion and Navarro near the dugout, and Navarro hustling over there to make the catch. Covered some ground. So after handling the bunt attempt pop, here's Longoria with the foul ball, and Navarro handles that one as well. Some pretty good acceleration by Navarro out from back of the plate there.
You get reinvigorated, get into another pennant race. Well, bouncing your step, playing your old foes, or sorry, your old teammates, old franchise.
It's not like it's September at all. One. Two outs after the base hit by Forsythe. a strike that Estrada moved away, and Miller thought that pitch was outside. 2-2. The pitch away, that one a little bit more of the plate, and Miller after that one to foul it away, keep the at bat going. Matt Duffy hoping to get a chance to hit here in the fourth. Miller is out on strikes. So he's out number 3. 5th strikeout for Estrada. 1-0 Toronto. Fifth inning, greater coverage of baseball brought to you by T-Mobile. Well, the New York Yankees. How about the month of August for Gary Sanchez, American League Player of the Month, and how has he taken the American League by storm? Corey Kluber, 5-0 for the Indians. The Cubs. First pitch here is a ball. Kevin Pillar. You know, the Cubs, as if they needed anybody else to get hot on their pitching staff. They lead the National League in pitching across the board. 1-1 to count to Pillar. It's foul right back. 1-2. Devin Travis will be next. And then the top of the order, Jose Bautista. Pillar pops it up. Forsythe takes care of it. 1 out in the 5th inning. Well, you want to get that leadoff man. And Snell has done that in every inning. In fact, he's retired the first 2 hitters in 3 of the first 4, and now he faces Devin Travis trying to get him. Breaking ball taken for ball 1. Erasmo Ramirez in the bullpen. Right back. 2-1 1. Four strikeouts in the game for Snell. Put up a couple of walks, couple of hits, and a run. Fly ball driven into center. Kiermaier is there. First 2 men out here in the 5th. Well, it's been a relatively easy process to get to 2 outs in an inning. 8 pitches here. He had 2 outs, 8 pitches into the 4th. 2 outs, 11 pitches into the 3rd. 2 outs, 3 pitches into the 2nd inning. And 10 pitches into the 1st with 2 outs. Well, let's see what he can do here against Bautista.
I love the way that he has rebounded against this Blue Jay lineup. You know, that game up in Toronto, that was the first time that we remarked and that we visually saw what looked like the moment was a little big for Blake Snell in that game. You had 40,000+ fans, a tough lineup. They were loud from pitch number 1. And so now you come back and you face that same lineup, the same hitters, the same potential. And, you know, you're right out there just plugging right away. 5th inning, you've given up a run.
One-two count on Jose Bautista. And he got him.
Wow.
Doing that curveball. 1 and 2. It didn't come close. 1, 2, 3. Bottom of the 5th coming. 1-0 Toronto. For the 5th, Blue Jays scored their run in the 3rd. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, delivers everything you've come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Matt Duffy picks a breaking ball. Bottom of the 5th inning underway. Pitch a ball. So Duffy, then Morrison and Franklin. The Rays trying to get something going here against Marco Estrada. So far, very little. This one fouled out of play down the right field side. The Rays have had only 2 base runners through the first 4 innings. A walk to Corey Dickerson in the 3rd. He was caught trying to steal. And a leadoff base hit by Logan Forsythe in the 4th, and he was left on base. That pitch right there, a ball wide, is only the 51st pitch thrown by Estrada tonight. 3 pitches into the 5th inning.
Well, he's one of those guys that can, you know, can get to be very efficient.
Liner into right, but it will stay up, and Bautista makes the catch.
He throws a lot of strikes. He mixes his pitches very well. He's one of those guys that just tries to miss the barrel of the bat. Now that may be by changing locations. It may be by changing speeds. But he's been keeping that pitch count in line. I mean, under average, not even average, under ideal every inning.
There's Logan Morrison. It's a strike call. Boy, that's a tough pitch to handle. Morrison talking it over with Brian O'Nora there, saying, you know, there's nothing I can do with that pitch. How can that be a strike? Way up this time off the plate, 1-1. We mentioned his homer the first time up, and boy, what a wallop that turned out to be.
I mean, that was a no-doubter. You can tell by the sound. Everything was on time. A little leg kick. And that ball was absolutely drilled. Give a little Ric Flair at the end.
He connected off Marcus Stroman. First of 3 home runs the Rays were to hit in last night's game. Stroman took the loss, now 9-6. Reaching, and he pops it up foul. Navarro chases it right back, but it's out of play. The count goes full. In the second 3-ball count Estrada's had on a hitter, he went 3-2 to Dickerson and then walked him in the third. He is 3-2 here to Morrison in the 5th. Cut and a miss. See that pitch up. And Morrison is out on strikes.
And he cut it. And a little cutter. See it on the side of the baseball, that little side spin, 87 miles an hour, up close to the eyes. See that an awful lot. Guys chasing up above the zone.
Now Nick Franklin. Ball, and that stays up. Ball 1. Franklin went after the first pitch in the 3rd and hit a fastball deep to right, sent Bautista to the wall, and he made the catch out there. So the off-speed stuff here, a breaking ball and a changeup. The count is 1-1.
What's the other thing that Marco Estrada will do? Smart. Remembers previous sequences. Remembers Franklin jumping on that fastball. Now you give it to him, but you give him to him in a place and a time of your choosing.
And it looks so enticing that you'll chase it. That's exactly what he did.
And he slowed him down too. It's off speed, off speed, pop. There you go. 88 right by you.
Pop foul, back and out of play. Two outs, bases empty, and Nick Franklin behind in the count. base hit into center. He'll make the turn and hold on. So Franklin has his first hit.
Yeah, and a nice job of staying back on that breaking ball. There it is, curveball. Look at him just kind of wait. Not much of a stride at all. He was up on the tippy toe, and then all he did was just twist that leg down, plant, and swing. I tell you, you simplify things, all of a sudden production starts to become the norm.
So Nick Franklin aboard for Corey Dickerson. Dickerson with a walk and a caught stealing on the night. Popped up foul. Can Navarro get there? He does, and makes the catch. And the Rays get a hit, but leave a man. We go to the 6th. 1-0 Toronto. Snell and Marco Estrada hooked up. Edwin Encarnacion with a 3rd inning single chased home Devin Travis.
Well, and Blake Snell in these 5 innings, just 2 hits, 1 run, a couple of walks. Both of those coming with 2 outs, something that he continues to work on, but he's throwing the ball very well, and Marco Estrada has been outstanding. 5 shutout innings, 1 walk, 6 punch outs, and again, just 2 hits given up. So you've got a real pitcher's duel developing here.
Josh Donaldson leads off the 6th, and the first pitch is a strike. Donaldson is grounded out and has walked. Strike 2. Snell quickly ahead. Walks, 5 strikeouts, a run, and 2 hits allowed by Blake Snell. It's through 5. Estrada through 5. 2 hits, no runs, a walk, and 6 strikeouts. Right foot lifted out of the way. Takes the count to 2-2. Edwin Encarnacion on deck. And a cut and a foul tip strikeout on the fastball. Strikeout number 6.
Well, and he challenges him too. He throws this fastball middle in, trying to get that inside corner and tie Donaldson up. And that's exactly what he does. Sneaks that fastball right over the bat. Another out to lead off an inning for Blake Snell. That is ideal and necessary in a game like this.
Ball 1 to Edwin Encarnacion. High pop fly. Franklin in. Just behind Forsythe. Makes the catch at shallow right. 2 outs with the bases empty in the 6th inning. Well, he continues to be very good at getting the first 2 men quickly.
Yeah, and look at the 4th and the 5th. Yeah, a couple of rough innings early on as far as pitch count goes.
Nine in a row retired by Snell. I want to know the count to Russell Martin. Laid off the off speed. On a play, it's 1-1. Snell has reached 100 pitches tonight. Close there. Bends it back 2-1. He made 104 pitches in 6 2/3 in Cleveland back in June, and 103 the next time out. That was against Boston here. Tapper 2-2. Erasmo Ramirez, who was getting loose last inning, is up in the bullpen again. A little bit high fastball, and so we have a full count. He strikes him out with off speed and strikes out Russell Martin. 1-2-3. Go the Blue Jays. 1-0 Toronto.
Kind of feel with the Rays trailing the Jays 1-0. Bobby Wilson will be leading this inning off for the Rays, and Wilson and Luke Maile have combined for some much unexpected offense since they both became regulars in this rotation. Offensively, Maile's 7 for his last 15. Bobby Wilson 4 for his last 10. Combined, the two have had 4 home runs in the last 8 games, and Kevin Cash not only loves and appreciates the offense, but he gives them a lot of credit for the pitching staff's turnaround since the All-Star break, guys.
All right, Rich, thank you very much on that. And here is Bobby Wilson taking a breaking ball, and that's in there for a strike to begin the bottom of the 6th. You know, each of these catchers for the Rays, Wilson and Maile, doing a nice job behind the plate and getting some key hits.
Well, when we look back over the last 18 games and the team's averaging 5.7 runs a game, you've got to have different guys chipping in. Of course, you know, Evan Longoria, Brad Miller, they had big Augusts as far as runs driven in, but you know, some of these other positions, some of these other players have to be able to chip in to keep sustained, you know, numbers like that, and that's exactly what they've been doing.
It's a pretty interesting duo. You've got Wilson, a veteran type. He's been around. He's been with some different teams. He's been on winning teams and teams that struggle. There's a little popper back of first. That's going to drop a fair ball, and Wilson has himself a base hit. Well, not exactly a line drive, but it's going to work out just as well. A little popper just inside the line, out of the reach of Encarnacion.
Well, it was off speed and off the end. Oh, those are the worst hits to give up. You make your pitch, you get really, really poor contact, but Bobby Wilson finds a way to drop it in, not only over the shoulder of Encarnacion, but just inside that line.
Only twice tonight for either team has that leadoff man been on base, and Wilson opening the 6th. Forsythe, who's up there now, opened the 4th with a base hit. The only time that either club has managed to put the leadoff man on. 1-0 the count to Logan Forsythe. See if the Rays can do something with this. 2-0. Bounce it back. Forsythe came into the game 5 of 11 with a home run off Estrada. 6 of 13 in his career off him right now. Three and one. Estrada starting his 3rd time through the Rays lineup. There's a line base hit through the hole. Fastball shot into left, and the first 2 men are aboard. Back-to-back singles. Wilson to second. Forsythe takes over at first.
Well, this is unfortunately for Marco Estrada. When you put yourself in 3-1 counts, you're forced out over the plate. Logan Forsythe pops another one into left field. 2-hit Logan. 2 hits every night. It feels that way. Great opportunity here. And you think about Kevin Kiermaier now with that. Well, does he bunt here? Does he square around a little earlier? Does he swing away? Everything that the Blue Jays are going to game plan for. And look at Josh Donaldson at 3rd base, already placing himself well in on the turf.
Well, the Rays have Wilson, the catcher, who doesn't run all that well now, at 2nd base. And Kiermaier does put down the bunt. The place to first and a wide throw. Everybody's safe. Estrada waved Navarro off the play, and the bases are loaded. Kiermaier's speed always a part of that play.
It is, and that's why he can turn around and sacrifice bunt and either get a hit or force a bad throw. Guys, look at this right here. Usually you don't want to bunt one that's that up in the zone, but he does a great job at getting him down 1. But then forces a quick throw by Estrada very cognizant of that speed. And it forces a quick throw. It forces a wide throw.
So just like that, the Rays have the bases loaded. Nobody out. Here's Evan Longoria. Ground ball and a base hit. Into left. Wilson scores. Forsythe stops at third. Bases are still loaded. And the Rays are on the board. Well, the Rays tie this game. Here it is, the RBI by Longoria.
Cutter never got to its spot. Stayed right out over the plate. That's how quickly innings can turn. I mean, Bobby Wilson just led off with a little nub over Encarnacion's head. He just scored. No out has been recorded. Bases are still juiced. And Cash is telling him, boy, you really knocked the snot out of that one.
So Wilson has scored the tying run. Blue Jays after a conference on the hill. That Biagini up in the bullpen. He just started to get loose. And Brad Miller is going to be the hitter for the Rays. Boy, what an opportunity against Estrada, who had been almost untouchable through the first 5. Giving up just a walk and a base hit, couple of hits through the first 5. Now to run 6 hits total. And Brad Miller takes the pitch upstairs. Forsythe third, Kiermaier second, Longoria at first. Foul the other way, out of play. And Boxberger is now up in the Rays bullpen. It's upstairs. 2-1. There's Boxberger. He was in the game briefly last night. Now 3-1. Bases loaded. 3-1 the count on Miller. Tap foul right back to the base of the stands. The count is full. Evan Longoria, who's been among the top 10 for the better part of the second half and hitting with runners in scoring position, has driven home the Rays' run to tie the game. And ball 4, that will give the Rays the lead. Estrada walks home the go-ahead run on a pitch wide to Miller, and it's 2-1. Two runs home. Still nobody out. The bases are loaded, and Matt Duffy will hit. Cecil, the lefty, had joined Biagini in the Toronto bullpen down the left field line. Duffy takes one a little low, and Estrada thought he might have had a strike there, down and away. A ball, no strikes. And a breaking ball, and he checked. On the fastball.
Marco Estrada trying to limit damage. The Rays trying to blow this thing open. It's been a conga line around the bases here to start the 6th.
Upton shot to left. Deep left. Upton's going to have to play it off the wall. Now he's going to have to chase it. Kiermaier has scored. Longoria has scored. Here comes Miller. He scores. A double. And the Rays break it open here in the bottom of the 6th. Matt Duffy, a bases loaded double. And the Rays lead 5-1.
That's one quick way to blow things open. Boy, a 2-1 fastball. He was not going to miss this one. And boy, does he drop the head. Nice, strong finish. Something like a golf swing. And that was a bullet off the top of the wall in left. That little carom didn't hurt either. Everybody charging their way home.
Yeah, when you saw Upton have to chase that back to his left, you knew it had a chance for 3. And a 3-run double from Matt Duffy chases Marco Estrada. John Gibbons out to make a pitching change. Still nobody out here in the 6th. Back in a moment. Nobody out in what is at the moment a 5-run inning. Brent Cecil will be the new pitcher on to face the left-handed bat of Logan Morrison. Bounces it foul for a strike.
I'll tell you what, you pause in this game for a small amount of time and things can get out of hand. There, Marco Estrada had gone 5 shutout. We were just talking about a pitcher's duel. And he still has 5 innings logged. Now he's given up 5 runs, responsible for potentially a 6th. That fast.
And it started on that little blue base hit by Bobby Wilson. It's a broken bat and a looper into right. That's going to fall for a base hit. Duffy will stop at third, waiting to see if that ball would be caught or not. And Morrison breaks his bat. The Rays have another hit. 7 hitters in a row reaching here to begin the 6th.
Good, bad contact. Doesn't matter. I mean, everything falling in, everything finding a hole.
Dick Franklin hitting from the right side against the lefty. Franklin 1 for 2 tonight. Hit the ball well twice from the left side. And fouls the first pitch fastball right back for a strike. Franklin with no official at-bats in his career against Brett Cecil. Getting a first-time look at the lefty. Morrison back in at first. Estrada made 86 pitches. And now it's Cecil surrendering the broken bat base hit to Morrison. Franklin tried to hold up on the breaking pitch down and in. He's behind in the count, 0-2.
That's where you're very thankful that it's 3 strikes. That was a nasty, nasty curveball down and in.
Fouled away. It's Dickerson on deck. The Rays have struck for 5 in the 6th. You can never have too many runs against this Toronto offense. And that pitch down and in. It's 1-2 now. So Navarro ready to fire down to third. Two and two now. He's taking this 4-run lead. Boxberger has sat down in the bullpen. Erasmo Ramirez standing on the bullpen mound right now. He's been up a couple times. Back over the screen, foul.
Pretty good battle being put up here by Nick Franklin. Down 0-2 early, taking some pitches, fouling some tough ones off.
Takes ball 3, so after getting down, now the count is full. Duffy third, Morrison first. Franklin out on strikes. Breaking ball.
Yeah, just spinning that one in there for a strike, and Nick Franklin just caught a little flat-footed right there.
Yeah, Cecil has a great curveball. That was not one of the better ones, but he gets strike 3 with it.
Well, the way this inning has gone for the Blue Jays, you'll take any out you can get, any way you can get it. Been a nightmare.
Corey Dickerson. Now throw down to third, and Navarro's throw way to the infield side, and Donaldson saved a run with that reception.
Boy, he certainly did. He's going to cover. The throw's back the other way. Donaldson having to show some athleticism here as Navarro comes out firing. Still tried to make the tag.
To first. With that first pitch to Dickerson, indicated by Brian O'Nora as a strike. So it's an 0-1 count. Foul out of play. Dickerson, the 9th Ray hitter to come to the plate, and the 6th, the 15th time the team has batted around this year. Genie still busy in the left field bullpen. 1-2. And strike 3 called. Dickerson not happy with that call. And O'Nora chirps right back at him, but here's the look, and it was wide. But it goes as strike 3. Two outs. Gibbons comes out to make a pitching change. He wants the right-hander this time. Back in a moment. Ram Trucks comes Glory Ram. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by your Southern Chevy dealers. Well, the Rays have batted around. They've taken a 5-1 lead. Still in the bottom of the 6th. The right-hander Joe Biagini on for the 50th time this year for the Blue Jays.
How about that? Rule 5 draft pick right here. And look at the ERA, 2.25 in 56 innings. He's done a nice job out of this Blue Jays bullpen. He's been one of the guys that manager John Gibbons has been able to count on all season long.
Well, Bobby Wilson started this inning with that bloop base hit back of first. He bats again. Pitch is upstairs. 2/3 of an inning for Cecil. Gave up a hit. Picked up 2 strikeouts. Bobby hitting .250 for the year. 1-1. Take on a pitch down. Collective effort, most of that right here in the 6th inning, top to bottom. And the Rays line up. And that will run the count to 3-2. Genie has yet to allow a home run this year.
Did you just go reverse jinx?
I think so. See, throw it out there, see what happens. Morrison breaks and the pitch hit on the ground to third. Donaldson's throw to first in time. The Rays sent 10 men to the plate, and they score 5 in the 6th. On to the 7th we go. 5-1 Tampa Bay. Bottom of the 6th inning. Blake Snell will depart with a chance to be the winner.
I'll tell you what, Blake Snell, he really settled in nicely. Had a couple of high pitch counts in the first 3, but ends up going 6 strong. Just 2 hits, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, and you got to love the way that he came back against this lineup that really gave him a hard time up in Toronto. He bounces right back and throws a heck of a game here tonight.
Erasmo Ramirez will take over. On for the 55th time. The first pitch he throws is a strike, a fastball taken by Troy Tulowitzki. Upton next, and then Navarro. Strike on the corner. 0-2.
Boy, a couple of really well located pitches by Erasmo to start off this 7th inning.
All 2 strikes. And again, 104 pitches for Snell, 6 innings. A run, 2 hits, couple of walks, 7 strikeouts tonight. Strike on the corner. And now Tulowitzki not happy.
Well, you know what? That's a good pitch. Better than the one that Corey Dickerson got called out on.
Yeah,
this is
right.
A 90-mile-an-hour cutter right there. That's a pitch that you just can't really do anything with if you're a hitter. So of course you're going to be upset if it's called.
One away in the 7th. Melvin Upton Jr. He takes the pitch for a ball. For 2, struck out his last time. 3-0. Been hitting .202 since coming to the Blue Jays. And Ramirez, after that opening strikeout, walks Upton on 4 consecutive pitches. It's the middle game of this series. Day game tomorrow, and here's what's coming up on Rays Live. The pregame show presented by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. Chris Archer will do the pitching. We'll hear from him, and it's another Kids Sunday tomorrow. Our coverage begins at 12:30.
We love the Kids Sunday.
We do. We learn a lot.
We do.
We can just stay right here, do a little work, and then learn a lot. A strike the count to Navarro. We wouldn't even have to put a necktie on if we didn't want. But we do in case they shoot us in the middle of the game. We do try to avoid being shot in the middle of the game. That's if we go on camera in the middle of the game. High ball center field. Kiermaier on the run. He's going to be there and makes the catch. Nice running catch by Kevin Kiermaier in center to retire Navarro.
Get on your horse. Nothing that Kevin Kiermaier likes to do more than run. I mean, just get out there and let out some energy. Look at that, always ready to make a play, not satisfied with covering the ground, making the catch. Now you look immediately to get that ball back in there.
Yeah, he's fun to watch. Applauded by Ramirez after making that catch. There's Kevin Pillar, and he takes a strike. Here's another guy who can go get it in center field. Kiermaier's like a horse in center. He's been stabled up, and you let him out into the paddock. They can't wait to get out there and just let it go. And that's what he does.
How many times have we seen the routine fly ball that he has to go back on not that hard, and he'll just throw in a hop at the end. Just another way. I mean, this isn't enough for me, so how about if I just give you a little hop?
Just doing it because it feels good out there.
And he'll tell you that.
Yep.
Yeah, early to the ballpark, tons of energy. He's the body in motion, stays in motion guy.
Runner goes, ball popping away. So Upton, who was breaking, gets credit for a stolen base on that one. And it's now a 2-1 count on Pillar. So a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. High chop, third base. Longoria, long throw, scooped over there and safe the call with Pillar going down the line. A little bit of a helpless feeling on that chop with Pillar's racing down the first baseline.
Yep, there's nothing you can do but wait on it. That's what Evans doing, trying to get his feet in position to make an instant throw, and it doesn't matter.
Close play over there, but Pillar called safe. Rays taking a moment to check with the video, see what they think about it, and they're going to forget about contesting that. So it's first and third. Devin Travis will be the hitter. Jim Hickey's going to make a trip to the mound. Rays start to get some action in the bullpen. Boxberger was up earlier, so it shouldn't take him long. Walk and the infield hit. 2 men on with 2 men out. The Rays hold a 5-1 lead right now. And Jim Hickey holding court on the mound as Brian O'Nora starts his trek out there. Just as he approaches the front side of the mound, they break it up, and Hickey and O'Nora exchange pleasantries, and Hickey indicating that he at this moment likes the wide strike zone. And Devin Travis. Travis 1 for 2. Tapper foul. Had the base hit, scored the run in the third. It was a 1-out single, eventually driven home by Encarnacion. Kind of a stepping back. Travis has had a fair amount of success against Ramirez. Chops this one foul. Erasmo ahead of him 0-2. He is 4 of 7 against Erasmo Ramirez. And as we mentioned last night, he is a tough hitter to have down in that 9 spot.
We've seen his power. He's got a strong lower half, can really drive through the baseball, kind of lurks down there and hides out.
Into the screen foul.
You get a number of guys in a lineup like this that can just kind of hide out because you're worried about this guy, the guy coming up behind him, Encarnacion. So there's some other hitters that can just quietly go about their business of being productive that aren't going to get a lot of attention.
Long one down the line. It's going to be foul. Pull the fastball. The count is still 2 strikes. First and third for Toronto. Tapper, foul ball. So I think Travis getting down 0-2. But he will, number one, he can make contact, and as you pointed out, it's strong. And was extending this at bat. Foul ball again. Ramirez in his first inning, Snell working the front 6. Two again, popped up, playable this time. Miller waiting at first. Side retired. 2 men left. 7th inning stretch. 5-1 Rays. great moment on this day in 2003 on his mother Nancy's birthday. Our very own Doug Wegner in St. Pete native throws a complete game shutout in his first major league start in a 7-0 win right here at Tropicana Field. Doug giving up just 2 hits. A couple of singles, that 2-hit shutout in his first big league start.
And he's walking off saying, this league is so easy. You give me a start, I give you a 2-hit shutout.
No problem.
No biggie.
Yep. Now I think I'll go into TV. And he's appearing on our pre and post game shows whenever he has time. Well, we go to the 8th inning. We're bottom of the 7th. A little premature there. The Rays lead 5-1. Rays scored 5 in the bottom of the 6th, sending 10 men to the plate. Logan Forsythe leading off. He's 2 for 3 tonight. And the pitch just missing there. It's 1-1. Genie, the right-hander. This is down. All 5 of the runs charged to Marco Estrada. Cecil and Biagini finish the inning. A 3-1 count. Genie keeping everything away from Forsythe. Fouls it the other way out of play. Lose 5 runs, 8 hits. Toronto a run, and 3 hits. And to right, there's a base hit. 3rd straight hit for Logan Forsythe. He's 3 for 4 tonight.
2 things there by Biagini that worked against him. First of all, you got a pretty seasoned hitter at the plate. You fall behind him 3-1, and you do nothing but stay away from him. A lot of pitches out there he gets a good look at, and finally, deep into this at-bat, he just shoots one into right field. That's not the type of guy that you could do that with, but you box yourself in by falling behind 3-1. Your options are limited at that point.
Here's Kevin Kiermaier. Ball, no strikes. Goes the runner, and the pitch hit deep down the right field line. Home run off the foul pole. Kevin Kiermaier hit the screening adjacent to the foul pole. His 8th home run, a 2-run shot. And the Rays now lead 7-1.
Cutter coming in. Barrel. Only question was, can you keep it fair, Mr. Kiermaier?
Biagini had not allowed a home run coming into this appearance in 55 1/3 innings. He was the only reliever in the majors with that many innings pitched, allowing no home runs. Well, Kevin Kiermaier takes care of that.
Well, and he's not looked sharp. I mean, even going back to the ground out by Bobby Wilson. Falling behind Logan Forsythe. And then that cutter hittable. Kiermaier keeps it fair. Rays tack on a couple more.
Well, Logan Forsythe scores in front of Kiermaier. Well, as you mentioned last night, there have been a couple of arms in that bullpen that have been pretty steady, but they're looking among the rest of the group to step up, and Biagini's been one of those steady arms. That's a strike to Longoria. We're going down the stretch here, trying to win the American League East. Everybody's trying to shore up the bullpen. Check swing and a hopper down to third. Glove by Donaldson, throw to first, and he gets it over there just in time for the first out of the inning.
Number 13, first baseman Brad Miller.
Well, just arrived before Longoria. Brad Miller. The breaking ball, he chased that one. One out, 2 runs home. Oh, 2. Kiermaier belting a home run in this inning. Check that time. Ball 2 strikes. And a base hit. Miller singles into center. On for the second time. He had walked with the bases loaded in the 6th.
Number 5, shortstop Matt Duffy.
11 hits on the night for the Rays. 3 off Biagini. And Matt Duffy, who got the big hit in the 6th, the bases loaded double, scoring 3, faces the Toronto right-hander. Ball, no strikes. The line drive to second, and they're going to double up Miller off first base. So Miller doubled up to end the inning. Kiermaier's home run adds 2, and the Rays now lead this game 7-1. Rays have opened a 7-1 lead. Pitchers duel in the early part of this game. Marco Estrada and Blake Snell. Estrada 5 innings plus. Things came apart for him in the 6th. Didn't get anybody out. Eventually charged with 5 runs. Snell worked 6. Gave up 2 hits and a run with 7 strikeouts. Home run in the 7th inning for Kevin Kiermaier of Biagini. And now Ryan Garten takes over here in the 8th and faces Jose Bautista.
I'll tell you that the Toronto Blue Jays, they have played well within the American League East, but have not really had an answer for the Rays. And this goes back some time. Pretty amazing how the Rays have played this Blue Jay team.
Well, the Rays coming into this game tonight 8-6 against them in the season series. It's popped up. Miller at first takes care of that.
Yeah, and how about this? The Blue Jays have won just 1 season series against the Rays since '06. They won the season series in 2014. That's the only time.
Yep.
Since 2006. I mean, just no answer.
Josh Donaldson. Donaldson has grounded out, walked, and struck out. Skies it to center. Kevin Kiermaier right there, and he makes the catch. 2 up, 2 down in the 8th. Every strikeout Chris Archer records benefits Berg Baseball and RBI Baseball of Tampa. For every strikeout, he'll join the Rays, and 10 News WTSP donating $25 each. Participants joining Chris Archer with a pledge at raysbaseball.com/Archer will be entered for a chance to meet with him. Edwin Encarnacion pitches a strike. Towering pop fly. Kiermaier waits for this one in center. 1, 2, 3 here in the 8th. 7-1 Rays. Colin Cowherd and Jason Whitlock do. Brains to know, the guts to say. Captain Colin and Jason, they team up for FS1's daily sports talk show, Speak for Yourself. Monday at its new time, 5 p.m. Eastern. And Dermody is going to come on to pitch, the left-hander here for the Toronto Blue Jays, making his major league debut.
Oh, 1.82, and the minor leagues will warrant a call up as the Blue Jays look for somebody down in that bullpen to step up. Always a wonderful time, all that hard work put in. You finally get here in the big leagues, and it's game on.
Faces Logan Morrison.
Hey,
God. Well, Morrison being welcomed to that at bat as Dermody makes his debut here in the major leagues. Take a look at this.
Sending an unintentional message, I think, at least from where Navarro was set up. Spinning big Logan Morrison right out of there.
Morrison had a base hit in the 6th. Texas beat Houston 12-4. The big lefty up in the Rays bullpen, Eddie Romero. The Rangers are 25-6 against the Astros. This one up the right side, going to be fair, down into the corner, and Morrison greets the left-hander with a double. The Rays, just like that, have a man in scoring position to lead off the 8th. The Rangers 25-6 against Houston since last May. How about that for dominating another club?
I think that that would certainly serve as in-state bragging rights.
25-6.
That's owning somebody.
And they beat them tonight 12-4. They just can't figure it out.
Not at all.
Against Texas.
No. Almost 20 games, 19 games under 500 in a year and some change.
Yep. Here's Dick Franklin against the lefty. Fastball is fouled back. Dermody began the year at Dunedin and then went to Double-A New Hampshire and then on to Buffalo. So he's been at 3 levels in their minor league system. To the count for Franklin. Para up in the bullpen. Ball and 2 strikes. Corey Dickerson due next. Franklin strikes out. So 1 out in the 8th inning. Let's check in for a moment with Rich Hollenberg. Rich, what's up?
All right, Dwayne, we want to remind you that we will have Rays Live the postgame brought to you by Checkers coming up from just beyond the left field seats in Tropicana Field. Orestes and I will be anchoring the coverage. We'll hear from Kevin Cash. We'll also hear from Blake Snell, who turned in a real nice outing against these Blue Jays. Good rebound for him, especially since he struggled the last time he faced them. And this resurgent offense keeps doing it. We'll talk about all that and more coming up on Rays Live, the postgame brought to you by Checkers immediately following the final out of this game. Dwayne?
All right, thank you. There's Corey Dickerson with a runner at second and 1 out. Well, the Rays tonight and last night, you have to zero in on the 6th and 7th innings. The Rays winning last night 8-3. They have 7 runs tonight. Back into deep left. Upton runs it down. Morrison had gone about 2/3 of the way to third and retreats to second. Dickerson out of there.
Number 21, catcher Bobby Wilson.
Looking at these first 2 games, of all the runs the Rays have scored now, 15. They've scored 13 of those in the 6th and 7th innings the last 2 nights. Bobby Wilson takes the pitch up. So you get deeper into the game. 3rd, 4th time around, the Rays have gone to work.
And you know what's ironic about that is Marco Estrada, you know, who went 5 shutout in the midst of what we're calling a pitcher's duel. His 3rd time through the lineup numbers are by far his best as he settles into a game and really picks apart the strike zone.
Yep, and he could not get anybody out the 3rd time through tonight.
No.
Well, that goes back to just when you think you've got the game figured out, you don't. That's what keeps us coming back.
I mean, really.
Rays have scored 7 runs tonight, leading 7-1, 12 hits. Rays had 2 hits going into the 6th inning, and Bobby Wilson, who's at the plate right now, just dropped one inside the right field line, a little bloop out of the reach of Encarnacion, and that started a 5-run 6th inning rally. And he takes that one for a strike. Just a little bit of the inside corner, apparently. 3-2. There's a base hit into left. Morrison to third. He'll stop there. 2 for 4 tonight for Bobby Wilson. Two men on, 2 men out.
Well, the catching position continues to hit. Bobby Wilson's had some really nice nights over the last couple of weeks. Another 2-hit night here.
And a pitching change coming here for the Toronto Blue Jays. Back in a moment. Ram Trucks, Guts Glory Ram by Kubota. For more information, go to FloridaKubotaDealers.com and by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. Bobby Wilson at first. Over at third, Logan Morrison. Ryan Tepera, the new pitcher. Pitcher number 5 for the Blue Jays. And Logan Forsythe, 3 for 4 tonight. The first man to face Tepera. Ball, no strikes. Tepera came on last night, gave up a home run to Brad Miller. Behind Forsythe, 2-0. Just will not break for him. It's 3-0. Strike. The Blue Jays started the day in first place by 1 game over the Red Sox. 3 up on Baltimore. The Orioles lead the Yankees 2-0 in the bottom of the 5th at Baltimore. And there's ball 4 outside. Forsythe on for the 4th consecutive time. Boston playing tonight in Oakland. There's Kevin Kiermaier. Kiermaier with a bunt single, a home run, 2 runs scored and 2 runs batted in tonight. A 1-0 pitch out in the 7th inning. He'll be a genie. His second home run of the year against Toronto. He hit one off R.A. Dickey back in May. Ball, no strikes. One and one. Forsythe at first, Wilson at second, Morrison at third. 2 outs and a 1-1 count to Kiermaier. Rays building a 7-1 lead on Kiermaier's 7th inning home run. Two and one. Long. Tepera having some issues here in this stint tonight.
This has been the story of that bullpen here, especially recently. Overall, this is still the top ERA team in the American League, but it has not been that way late in ball games as of late, and that's got to give
back.
Manager John Gibbons a lot of consternation. Now you're thinking about winning a division, getting back to the postseason, making a deep run. You had better have a bullpen. That's just the way it goes. You need those big outs late in games, on the road, in front of hostile fans. Guys are going to be able to come in and get the job done. Still looking.
That's a cut and a miss. Cutter 3-2, got him. Rays leave him loaded, and they lead 7-1. Head-to-head on the day's hottest sports topics. Undisputed with Skip and Shannon premieres Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, 6:30 a.m. Pacific, only on FS1. Eddie Romero, the new pitcher for the Rays. We go to the ninth. It's a 7-1 Rays lead, with Russell Martin leading off the ninth for Toronto. Which is upstairs. Ryan Garten had a 1-2-3-8. 6 for Snell, 1 for Ramirez, 1 for Garten. One and one. Two balls and a strike. 2-2. Martin has struck out 3 times tonight. A couple of times on off-speed stuff swinging. He looked at a fastball against Snell first time up tonight. And Romero goes full, 3-2. Ball 4. Romero gives up a walk to the first man he faces, and that continues to be an issue. Boy, if he could ever gather all of that together with command, he'd be something. But it continues to be an issue for him.
Well, look at this. As he lets go of this pitch and forget about that.
TULOWITZKI, a big cut. Strike 1.
This is what we're watch. You know, you talk about repeatable delivery. That's not ideal, and that's what continues to be the problem. I mean, he went down on that pitch. You can hardly expect that to end up in the zone.
Gets ahead of TULOWITZKI. 2 strikes. Upstairs, 2-2. Upton on deck. And a full count. Romero worked an inning in the Red Sox series at Fenway on Tuesday and struck out 2. 1-2-3 inning there. Having trouble here tonight. It's back-to-back walks for Martin and Tulowitzki. Jim Hickey heads to the mound. Upton will be the hitter. Well, with a big lead, with any lead, you don't want to start doing this, and especially with a big lead, they're hopeful that Romero could just come in and throw strikes, and that has not been the case.
No, and that's, you know, sometimes we see him come in and he is dynamite and he's right on point. Other times it's this. That's what, you know, Kevin Cash, when you start to think about this bullpen moving forward and how it's going to be rebuilt for next season and the auditions that are going on now, you need to be able to trust that at the very minimum, you bring a guy in later in the game, he's going to throw strikes. You know, he's not going to be perfect every time, but you can count on him to throw strikes.
Upton goes after the first pitch and hits a high popper right side on the infield fly. It's caught by Miller. And so that's the first out.
Once Eddie Romero's able to do that with his stuff, it's got a chance to be special. But you've got to get to that point that you can come in, repeat the delivery, and pound the zone.
And you know, he did show signs of that in the spring and early in this year. Things had been simplified for him. He seemed to repeat the delivery, and he's been inconsistent since then with his delivery.
And not the first time that we've seen him as he swings that left leg around. You know, we've seen him go down. So when you're delivering a pitch outside of Mitch Williams, not many guys can pull that off and be able to throw strikes. And even he had issues at times throwing strikes.
Yeah, he was an edge walker himself. 1-1. I mean, he'd go out there and walk the bases loaded and then strike out the side.
Well, you got a close and
every day
personal
with
seat for it.
Yeah, he was something else.
I wrote a paper on Mitch Williams one time.
Did you?
Yeah, because that was the year I was in high school. And, you know, the Cubs were good. And, you know, playoff team and WGN. Everybody got WGN.
Yeah.
So you would tune into the games and, you know, coming from the Cleveland area, the season was already over. You know, I mean, by April, you know, 26th, 27th, things were done.
Yeah. Oh, the ball gets by Wilson on that pitch down, and the runners advance, and the count is 2-2. So Navarro up here. It's a wild pitch.
See right there, Bobby Wilson going for the backhanded scoop as opposed to blocking that pitch. Able to get by him. But another pitch that's, you know, spiked right into the ground, well out in front.
Ground ball, foul. Yeah, it was amazing how Mitch Williams just could literally walk himself into trouble and then just find it and strike out his way out of it. He'd just find it and fire by people. Wild thing indeed. 2-2. Foul out of play. Well, it's 7-1. The Blue Jays up here in the 9th inning, down to their last couple outs. And they're just trying to get base runners to get something started to try to build something. But pop foul. That's going to be out of play. So the count's still 2-2. Three and two, 4 hitters, 3 full counts. Upton really did the Rays a favor and went after the first pitch and popped out. And now a 3-2 count to Navarro. Ground ball out to second base. Forsythe takes care of that. A run scores. Martin crosses the plate. It's 7-2. So Navarro putting the ball into play. Gets a run batted in. Man at third with 2 outs. Kevin Pillar will now be the hitter. Pitch is a ball. Strike Anthony's. Blocked by Bobby Wilson. Yeah, here's Wilson, who's been catching all night. A couple of hits and a run scored. He's getting a workout here in the 9th inning, catching Inny Romero. Three and one. A 3-ball count on 4 of the 5 men he's faced. More pitches out of the zone than in. And he had just walked his 3rd man of the inning. It's going to force Jim Hickey to make the call to the bullpen. The last thing he wanted to do going into this inning, leading 7-1. And Colomé is going to have to get up and start to move. Evan Travis, the hitter. And the pitch is inside to him, 1-0. Two outs, 3 walks, a run home on a ground ball. And now there's a strike. Pitch popped up foul. It's going to be out of play, and so the count goes to 1-2. Just happy that Upton swung at the first pitch and popped out. The way this thing has played itself out. Oh, close pitch right there, but off the plate in. Pillar moves to second on indifference. The 2-2 upstairs. So it's 3-2. 3-ball counts to 5 of the 6 hitters he's faced. Bautista, by the way, is on deck. Popped up foul, out of play. I mean, it's potentially a serious situation here with Colomé throwing in the bullpen. 3-2. Ground ball deep off the glove of Duffy into left. Tulowitzki scores. Pilar scores. Travis driving in a couple. So 3 runs have scored in the inning, and it's a 3-run game. And Jose Bautista, the top of the order, is due up. And the Rays trying to slow it down a little bit. Here comes Kevin Cash. And Bautista due up. Romero's going to depart. And the Rays forced to use Colomé tonight. Back in a moment. One game coming in turns into a save situation. Tomorrow we'll be with you at 12:30 on Fox Sports Sun. The Rays wrap up this series against the Toronto Blue Jays. Chris Archer 8-17 against Jay Happ 17-4. The wrap-up game of the series. Before the Baltimore Orioles come in. Same situation now for Colomé. Runner on. Bautista at the plate. Donaldson on deck. And the pitch is down. Travis moves up to second base on indifference. Colomé 29 saves on the year. Base hit into left. Dickerson up with it. Travis comes to the plate. That run is charged to Romero. It's 7-5. And the Blue Jays will get the tying run to the plate.
Man, who saw that coming? And the tying run to the plate is none other than Josh Donaldson. Ball right there, just not quite far enough away from Bautista. He's able to lay into it a little bit, get that ball out into left field.
Well, you have a guy in the game who didn't figure he was going to be in the game at all. And then you tried to slow it down a little bit to give him time to get sufficiently warm. Not an ideal situation. Josh Donaldson, a shot that skips by Longoria into left. That was a hot shot. So Bautista moves to second on Donaldson's hot shot base hit. Donaldson, his last time up, extends his hitting streak to 12. Boy, that drilled that ball.
Yeah, how about that hop too? I'm telling you what, that was a nasty hop on a ball that was smoked, and now, well, I mean, Encarnacion to the plate. Hot shot.
Edwin Encarnacion with a walk and a single tonight. Pitches a strike at the knees. He becomes the 9th Blue Jay hitter to come up here in the 9th inning. Blue Jays have scored 4 to make it 7-5. Bautista's at second. Donaldson's at first. And a fly ball into left. Dickerson is there. Rays win it. Colomé saves it. Encarnacion hit it down off the end of the bat. They send 9 men to the plate to score 4. And the Rays hang on to win it 7-5 tonight. Blake Snell will get the win, and he pitched very well tonight for the Rays. In between Ramirez, Garten, Romero, and finally Colomé to get the last out and post the save. For the Rays tonight, 7 runs, 13 hits, no errors, and 7 men left. For Toronto, 5 runs, 6 hits, no errors, and 7 men left. Blake Snell, the winning pitcher, his record is 5-7. Colomé picks up the save. Alex Colomé now has 30 saves. Estrada, the losing pitcher, his record is now 8-7. Took 3 hours and 6 minutes to play this game before 14,353. So the Rays have taken the first 2 games of this series. Right now, let's go to the field at Rich Hollenberg.
Dwayne, I was hoping you'd delay a couple seconds longer. Kevin Kiermaier is trying to slow his heartbeat down. You guys know how to make things interesting, but you put up 7 runs, and that's enough against one of the best offenses in baseball. Not many guys hit a bunt single and follow that up with a home run. That's got to be a first even for you.
I don't know. You know, bunting is part of my game, and homers way more few and far between. But I just try to be an all-around player and do whatever it helps to take the team win. And thankfully, I laid down a good bunt there to get that rally going in the 6th or 7th inning, whatever it was. And it always feels good to hit homers. So very happy with how my at-bats went tonight for the most part. But great team win for us. And, you know, credit to Blake Snell shutting this offense down tonight. And it's awesome playing behind our pitchers lately. And it helps us so much more offensively. So keep it rolling as long as we can.
You talked about the home run, 7th inning. The 6th inning was the bunt single. Followed that up in the 7th with a 2-run shot. Take us through that one.
Well, I had a 1-0 count, and you know, he threw a cutter that got the middle of the plate, and I was just trying to stay on top of it, and thankfully put a good swing on it. I thought it was going to be way more fair than what it was hitting the foul pole, so I was very relieved running the bases, knowing how little room for error I had right there. But I was just happy to see it hit off that pole and put us up there even more. So, like I said, I'll take homers anytime.
Got a nice little 7-game hitting streak going. You're hitting .323 in that time. What's been the secret for you so far?
I'm just trying to simplify everything. I feel like I always say that, but anytime I get out my element over swinging, you know, those are the bats I give away. So I'm trying to limit those and stay under control and being in control the whole at bat, effort level, pitch selection, all that. And you know, still been a little inconsistent, but hitting's hard, and just try to slow the game down as much as possible.
Kevin Kiermaier, 2 hits, 2 RBIs. The Rays take the series from the Jays. Back up to you.
All right, thank you very much. 7-5. The Rays needed those runs supplied by Kevin Kiermaier with that 7th inning home run, and a nice job by the young lefty Blake Snell to get the win tonight. Rays winners 7-5. Same 2 teams tomorrow. We'll be with you at 12:30 on Fox Sports Sun. Brian Anderson, Rich Hollenberg, and the rest of our crew, Dwayne Stats. Hope you've enjoyed the telecast. Rays come away winners. Rays Live, the post game is next.